Hang's new dress. This story is about a young and talented girl called Hang. She loves learning English, and her hobby is making clothes for herself and her friends. One evening, after studying with her kind and handsome teacher, she went home and decided to make herself a new dress. Earlier that week, she had bought some new material from the market, and it was the most fabulous cloth she had ever seen. She opened her wardrobe and poked around looking for the small bag that contained her new cloth. "Ah, there you are," she said softly, as she pulled the small bag out from the back of the wardrobe. The material was unlike any she had seen before. It was pink and shiny and as soft as a kitten. She held the cloth up to her body and felt so energetic and not at all tired. She cut out her design and pinned the paper to the cloth. "I know it's late, but I have to finish this dress," she thought as she looked at her new design with pride. The cloth was cut, and it seemed to enter the sewing machine more easily than other cloths. The sewing machine passed through the cloth like a warm knife through butter, and within an hour the dress was complete. Hang giggled with anticipation as she put the dress against her body. Then it was time to try it on. The dress fit her body perfectly. It felt warm against her skin. She looked into the mirror and smiled. "I look so beautiful," she whispered to herself. Then she pulled the zipper downwards, but nothing happened. "Oh, it's stuck," she said miserably. Then Hang tried again, but it wouldn't move. She tried to pull her arm out, but the sleeve was too tight. She started to feel a little worried because she didn't want to rip the dress. Soon her worry turned to fear as she tugged and pulled, but it would not come off. It was clinging to her skin like an insect. She took out the scissors and started to cut the cloth. Hang looked in shock as the scissors bent instead of cutting. "Oh my," she said loudly. The cloth would not cut anymore. Hang looked into the mirror and her eyes opened wide as she saw herself. The dress was disappearing into her skin like a cream. After just a few minutes, it was completely gone, and Hang fell to the floor like a rag doll. The next morning she woke up naked on the floor. It had been a very cold winter, but she didn't feel cold. But her head felt very dizzy, and then the memory of the night before started to come back. Hang stood up and looked into the mirror again. Her skin was beautiful and shiny like the cloth she had made the dress from. She picked up the scissors and held them close against her arm. "I hope I'm right," she whispered, as she pulled the scissors quickly over her skin. The scissors cut deep into her arm, but left no mark, no blood, and incredibly no pain. Hang put on her clothes from the night before and rushed back to the market. When she arrived, she found the old woman who had sold the material to her earlier that week and pushed her into the corner of the stall. "Where did you buy that pink cloth from that I bought from you?" she asked angrily. The old woman looked at her in surprise and said, "Oh, I didn't buy that. I found it near my house." Hang grabbed the old woman and shouted, "Where?" Hang went to the place the old woman described and found a large meteorite and some traces of pink cloth. Hang realized that the cloth must have been from space or from another planet. She smiled. "I am like a real Supergirl now," she said softly. Over the next few days, strange things started happening to her. To be continued. Thanks for listening. Catch you next time.